Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here to discussion. Our topic today is about teaching grammar and vocabulary, concept, methods, and some cases. Our the members of our group is the first is Amelia, and then Putri Rahmadani, me as a moderator Nafitriani, Devita Maharani, Misbahu Solihah, and the last one is Rikza Mufarid Kurbi Sofian. The first material will be explained by Rikza Mufarid Kurbi Sofian. Rikza, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. I will explain about concept of teaching grammar and vocabulary. So the first is concept of teaching grammar. The first one is practice. Practice ranges from simple manipulation of form to open communicative interaction. Grammar basic teaching use a wide variety of exercise type to encourage and accommodate a variety of students' language learning strategies. The purpose of practice are multifaceted, but all lead toward the goal of creating successful communication experience. The second is blending approaches. Grammar basic teaching blends grammar syllabus and explicit grammar teaching with communicative methods, using grammar as a springboard of interactive communicative practice opportunities. The next is communicative methods. Grammar basic teaching seek to engage students in communicative practice that ideally provides opportunity for creative use of target structure. Grammar basic teaching often uses the classroom as context, building language practice around the people and object and activities in the here and now classroom. In grammar basic teaching, communicative practice means that real people are communicating in real time about the real things in a real place or a real purpose. The next is usability goals. The immediate goals is to help students develop an interlanguage sufficient to their needs and purposes. A grammar basic teaching approach does not presume to know when any particular structure is internalized by any particular students. The next is structure awareness. Grammar basic teaching seeks to create awareness and understanding of English structure and awareness of the form, meaning, and appropriate use of structure. This awareness is seen as one of the first steps many students rely upon in the process of creating their interlanguage. The next is building familiarity and comfort level. To assist the development of students' interlanguage, grammar basic teaching seeks to building familiarity through repetition and variety in practice methods and promote the students' comfort level in using the new language. The last one is error correction. Mistakes are viewed as opportunities for learning. Corrective feedback is a natural and accepting part of grammar-based class. So students are encouraged to make their own correction and a time to give corrective feedback to their classmates during interactive activities. During independent communicative activities among students, mistakes are largely ignored. So I will explain about concept of teaching vocabulary. The first is model. In an explicit approach to vocabulary instruction, teachers should model the skills and understanding required to develop rich vocabulary knowledge. Say the word carefully, pronunciation is critical to allow students to make a strong connection between written and spoken language. The next is master. Provide opportunities for students to master an understanding of new vocabulary in context through hearing, saying, reading, and writing. Using word is the best way to remember them. The following method can help learners to consolidate their vocabulary knowledge. The next one is maintain. Maintain learning through repeated practice and revision. There are many great game ideas to help us finding creative ways to revisit learning after one day, on 1 week, or 1 month. Okay, maybe that's all for me. For the next material will be presented by the next presenter. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ligda, for the great explanation. And the second material is about methods. Uh, the first method is lexical method, will be explained by me. First is definition of lexical method. The lexical method in a method of teaching for a foreign language developed by Michael Lewis in the 1990s. This method concentrates on developing learners' proficiency through lexis, words, and word combination or chunks. It is based on the assumption that an important part of language acquisition involves the ability to comprehend and produce lexical phrases as unanalyzed wholes or chunks, and that these chunks become the raw that data by which learners perceive patterns of language traditionally thought of as grammar. And then taxonomy of lexical items. Lexical items consist of words, for example, book, pen, and the second is polywords. Polywords is linguistics, a phrase that acts like a single word. For example, is by the way, upside down, and the third is collocation. Collocation is a predictable combination of words, and for example, we can say heavy rain but not strong rain because it does not sound right. And any example is prices fell and rancid butter. Fourth is institutionalized utterance. Institutionalized utterances are the fundamental elements used in the most widespread speech. Used in the most widespread speech acts. People do not remember the exact words they understand that speak acts. Thus, the learner must recognize. For example, like that is not as blank 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 as you think, or the danger was blank blank blank. And the last one is text frames. For example, in this paper, we will explore blah blah blah, firstly, secondly, and thirdly. And then finally, blank blank blank. Okay, that's all from me. That is my material, and the next material will be explained by Devita. Devita, time is yours.
We'll continue here in Mexico. The first one is intensive and extensive listening and reading in the target language. The next is first and second language comparisons and translation. Carry out chunks for chunk rather than word for word. Aim at raising language awareness. Next is repetition and recycling of activities to keep words and expressions that have been learned active. The next one is guessing the meaning of vocabulary items from context. The next activities is noticing and recording language patterns and collocations. And the next activities is working with dictionaries and others reference tools. And then the last activities is working with language corpus to research for word partnership, preposition usage, style, and so on. That's all for me. I will give back to moderator.
All right, Devita, thank you for the good explanation. And the next material will be explained by Miss Bah Husoliha. Miss Bah, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Number 2 is grammar translation method. The grammar translation method is a method of teaching foreign languages derived from the classical method of teaching Greek and Latin. In grammar translation classes, students learn grammatical rules and then apply those rules by translating sentences between the target language and the native language. Advanced students may be required to translate full text word for word. Next slide. Okay, the next is procedure of grammar translation method. Number 1 is the class read a text written in the target language. And then students translate the passage from the target language to their mother tongue. Number 3, the teacher asks students in their native language. Students write out the answer to reading comprehension question. Students translate new words from the target language to their mother tongue. Students are given a grammar rule. Students memorize vocabulary. The teacher asks students to state the grammar rules. Students memorize the rules. And the last is errors are corrected by providing the right answer. Okay, that's all from me. Back to moderator.
Thank you, Miss Bah, for the explanation. And the next material is about some cases. The first some cases will be explained by Putri Rahmadani. Putri Rahmadani, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. I would like to explain about cases that often occurs in the application of grammar translation method. So, case 1, the grammar translation method is very boring in the learners and take a long time and makes the learner think in L1 or first language. So, what the solution for in this case? The solution is teacher must be able to create an interesting and fun teaching and learning process situation so that it increase student motivation to learn. Teacher must be creative in applying media and teaching techniques that allows students to enjoy the situation. Next slide, moderator. And then case 2. Many students think that the grammar translation method is less important because they only study grammar and translation, and they think that the most important thing is the method that improves speaking skill. So the solution for in this case is here the first thing to do is to increase the awareness of the student. Student must know that learn vocabulary, grammar, structure and meaning of the new word and then proceed to the speaking state because to be able to speak fluently we need a lot of vocabulary and understanding the meaning of the word. Thus, this method also helps students in the speaking fluency and understanding the meaning of words when learning to listen. I think that's all from me. Back to moderator.
Thank you, Putri, for the good explanation. And the last is about some cases in the last is about some cases in the lexical method will be explained by Amelia. Amelia, tiny Zoom.
Okay, thank you, moderator.
Yes, lexical approach. The lexical approach can be a quizly way for students to pick up perhaps it doesn't occur creativity interest that it had the negative slight effect of limited student response step safe solution. The teacher must always reach primarily to the context of the student language and not asking for vocabulary memories. The teacher only needs to look at the student ability to understanding the vocabulary he is learning because students don't need to build response. They don't need to learn the subtitle of the language. Next slide, moderator. Conclusion. Adult language knowledge consists of series of linguistic contexts with different level of complexity and abstraction. Contraction can consist of speech and context idiom as in word and idiom, more abstract classes of idioms as in word classes and abstract consistence or complex combination of concrete and abstract pieces of language as methods contract consequently no expansively positive between lexi and grammar. Okay, I think that's all from me. Kembali ke moderator.
Alright, thank you, Amel, for the explanation. You guys, that's all from our group. The explanation about how to teach grammar and vocabulary, the concept, methods, and some cases about it. Thank you for listening our video. I think that's all. Thank you so much. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.